that could help us obtain a loan to have a home built. And two, with the business side of it, we're looking for a bank who can help us. We're looking to open a restaurant real soon. We have everything up and going. Only thing that we're looking for now is for someone to give us that advice, that financial advice, because we're looking at the building we're looking at now. They strip all of the restaurant equipment, so we're looking at well over 50-some thousand. So we're looking at somebody who can talk to us to tell us the best way to do it.
Do you guys have any kind of idea of what kind of restaurant you want it to be?
Yes, everything's set up.
Okay.
It's a wine, all wine infused food, Chardonnay macaroni and cheese, white wine drunken chicken, Merlot meatballs. I'll have the compound butters that are infused with the different wines. And those are for the non-cookers who cannot cook. All the seasoning herbs are inside this one cup. You just drop the cup over in your skillet or your pan. All you're doing is turning your meat. It actually infuses it and does everything for you.
Bring samples next time.
Well, we've been doing events to get our product out there just to see if people will like it. We've been doing bridal shows, different things, parties. And so we definitely, if I can get some cards, I would definitely like to invite you all to the next event that we do.
Excellent.
Thanks in advance.
You're welcome.
Excellent. Yes, sir.
Me?
Yeah.
She?
So see, I try to give my brother an out.
He needs to, because he really needs he needs to speak because he has a desire to flip homes, so he needs to speak about the reason why. That's why he's here. He wants someone to give him advice on the best way to financially do that.
There you go. Excellent. Well said, brother.
Well said, bro.
Oh, I said it again. I'm sorry. I've been in sales 16 years, so it just comes normal for me to speak. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, hello to everyone. My name is Tanaka Theffer. I am the owner and head chef of Big Mamas and Granny's Catering. We're uptown meets down home. We started our business back in 2008, where I just went and got a business license, but I had a full-time job, which was a flight attendant. So about 5 years ago, we stepped out on faith, and business has been great. Right now, we're leasing a kitchen out of a banquet hall, which is located in Bartlett, but we want our own brick and mortar. The numbers are good for as income. It could be better for the model that we want, and I'm just trying to find out any avenues, anything that I can find out more information to help my business grow. I've found a location. I've actually got a bid from a contractor to build out, and right now he's looking at like $32,000 for the build out, but really not comfortable with that number. I feel like it's just a little bit reaching. So just need someone to help me. I'm the face of my business, and I'm also the person that does the cooking, the marketing, the networking, and everything else. So it's getting a little heavy, so just want to grow. As I grow, I can add more people to it. And I've met a couple that is going to help me with the staffing part.
Good.
So it's already looking up. Yeah.
Much better than ZipRecruiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Excellent. Yes, sir.
Well, I'm
Or
Kim
y'all
Jones,
come out. Okay.
and we represent Trustmark
There you
Community
go, okay.
Reinvestment
Yes.
on the business side as well as the personal side for your home financing. Our major goal is to meet the community right where they are by giving them financing for the particular areas that you are in. We have a magnificent 100% loan product for home purchasing. For community that are under $50,000, we have no loan limit. You can go as low as $25,000 or even lower than that. And I can't wait to get your business, especially you too.
Excellent.
All right, I'm Dewan Hendricks. I'm at iHeartMedia, the largest media company in the United States. I represent about 7 to 8 stations here locally and about 53 stations in the region. So my region is Nashville, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Georgia. So primarily what I do is I'm a former banker, and so I sit down and people and actually talk them through challenges and use our brands to do that. So we specialize in radio and digital advertising, but I also do events. So what I'm looking for now, we've created new events. A lot of our events you've probably heard of, like Wine on the River. You've heard maybe Rock Haven or Manuary on Rock 127. But now we got a new event called Memphis Chicken and Beer Festival. It's catered to males who are maybe beer snobs, but not necessarily beer snobs, but everybody loves chicken in the South. So it's going to be August 11th at the Liberty Bowl on the field. So we always cap everything off at 3,000 or less. So since all of our events sell out pretty fast, so I'm looking for restaurants to participate and then vendors who actually want to benefit from the crowd. So I have my cards and I can pass out some more, but that's what I'm looking for at this point. We have a ton of events, and I need to interact sponsors with our 700,000 list.
Yeah, excellent. Great opportunity with that too, guys, by the way, if you're looking to connect, and Dewan's a great connector for things like that to get the best bang for your time and your buck. So I definitely recommend that. So yeah, thanks, Dewan.
Hello everyone, my name is Roderick Selman. I'm the Senior Advisor at STL Financial. Essentially, I help businesses navigate, grow, and protect their financial assets. And I do that by helping them retain key employees with two ways. They can have business continuation plans, and the owner can, or individual can, properly exit the business without having to either close their doors, which is either close your doors, sell, or liquidate. So I help them navigate those strategies, determine what's best for them when it comes to retirement. And so I like working with individuals that essentially love their family, love themselves, somewhat care for their employees, especially the good ones, and look to get ahead financially.
Yeah. So, Rod talked a lot about you from a legacy standpoint, so I think of him as your legacy guy. It's not always, when you think of things as a death benefit, there's life benefit to things too. And so he's able to help with that too. A lot of times we think of things like that or insurance, and we're always thinking of doing something today to leave for somebody else, which is a big part of it. But there's also opportunities to solidify things like income and then be prepared for the future, which is always critical in business or just personal in general. So, yeah. Mr. Bernard.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Greg Bernard. I own Data Maximum IT Consulting and Services, and essentially what we do is we try to be your CIO without you having to hire one. So if you're struggling to use technology, or if you just want to see what technology can do for you, then you need to give us a call. We do a little bit of everything, from infrastructure to website design to software, mobile devices, security. I have a background of like 20 plus years in IT, so when I tell you we do everything, we do a little bit of everything. Technical services, you name it, we do it. So if you need some assistance, don't hesitate to give us a call. We are headquartered in Memphis, but we have clients in Atlanta and in Dallas, so we're everywhere.
And of course, you already know what technology's doing here. So
Right.
if you're not on that wave, you're going to be behind. No matter what size or scale your business is, if you're not leveraging technology or having a knowledge of it, you get left behind. You can't wait till it comes on CNN. By then,
That's right. It's too late. It's too late.
They've already moved to the next thing where the CNN anchor gets on and talks about it. So, thanks, Mark.
Good afternoon. My name is Shannon Shriver. I'm with One South Financial Group. Roderick is one of my business partners. I drove all the way from Birmingham to be in this group, so your podcast is really growing.
Yeah. Good.
I specialize in dealing with retirement planning and disability insurance for business owners, and up here working today with Roderick. And the good news is my son's headed to Kuwait today, so if I pay attention to the phone, he's on his way to serve our country. So Shannon Shriver with One South Financial.
Excellent. Hey, clap to yourself. Make sure he gets that.
12 months.
Wow. Excellent.
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Nowlin. I worked in corporate marketing for about 17 years and decided to, on faith, join my wife at her small firm called AHA Creations. And basically, we're a brand marketing and graphic design firm. So we do everything from building a brand from the ground up, augmenting a brand, maybe that is just kind of getting its feet wet, or we refresh brands that have been around for a long time. And that can include anything from media, public relations, marketing, communication strategy, etc. as far as what I'm looking for, I'm really here. I just love meeting people and seeing where people are at. And Greg is a good friend of mine, and so we kind of have this little tag team thing where we love helping people out. We love sending business people's way, and so I'm just excited to be here and share with you all.
Yeah, excellent. And branding obviously is critical. Dewan talked some about that, and several around the table have, and everybody here is representing the brand. And so it's interesting to hear about refreshing your brand, because that can be critical as well. And all of us could think of some brands that could use some refreshment. So you don't have to look too far. So for some companies that could probably use your help. So
Right on.
definitely.
Glad to help.
Dan?
Yeah. I'm from Canada, actually, and I came to CBU to play soccer and run track for the school. I graduated last spring as a mechanical engineer. And then over the summer, thanks, I did an entrepreneur program at Memphis. Got really into the whole startup community. It's been really awesome. And then I started my master's program at CBU in the summer, actually, at the same time. I'll graduate from that this spring. And this last fall, I got a photography drone and started up a little bit of a side business kind of thing while I'm juggling other things, doing photography and doing video and stuff like that for people. And ended up doing a music video for a rap artist, and then doing some other marketing videos, and things are starting to fall into place with it. So it's been pretty fun and exciting. So
That's good stuff.
getting into that kind of work for sure. And I'm kind of wanting to learn too about e-commerce and online web platforms and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. But you got some people with some experience
I know.
in e-commerce in the room, so you're in the right place.
I know, right?
And drone work is obviously, from a photography standpoint.
Right, yeah.
If you haven't used that in your business, I can give you some great shots that you normally wouldn't get, obviously standing up, to the ground. So it's
Especially working with real estate companies, because that's big right now.
I was gonna say you got some folks in here that are in real estate that would use that. It's
I would love to talk to people about real estate. I'm looking into
you
that.
got them in the room. Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting you.
Excellent. All right. Ladies.
Well,
The twin.
I'm Mickey McIntosh by day, and I'm an accountant at the Shelby County Trustee Office, but I am here as a board member for Crusade for Change, which is a new nonprofit, and I will let Ms. Marshall expand on that.
Yeah, my name is Sansia Marshall. I'm a native Memphian. I'm actually a special education teacher as well. I've been doing that for about 10 years, which equates to probably about 20 years in special education. I've taught at several local schools here in the city, Central High, Hamilton High, 2 of KIPP schools, Douglas K through 8, and I've also taught at Wilder, all boys prison in Somerville, youth villages, and I tutor at juvenile court. So with that background, of course, you know that I've seen a lot of different things, which led me to my nonprofit organization back in 2012. So it's roughly taken about 4 or 5 years for me to bring everything to fruition, with still being a full-time teacher and working on this at the same time. So back when I was at Hamilton in 2012, that's when the light bulb came on for me to start my nonprofit organization, because all of my students are at-risk kids, have been at-risk kids in high need areas. So, and then fast forward, when I taught at Douglas, I saw that, facing hunger, different things with hunger and male mentoring, those were needed. So I created my nonprofit organization centered around those things, and also to uplift teen parents here in the city. So the 3 programs that I have with my nonprofit organization are the Free Breakfast Weekend program, which I've already done one at Douglas Community Center, which I have a great partnership with the community center director there. I'm going to do a teen parent symposium probably twice a year to provide resources and career fairs, job, different things, schools to teen parents, so they won't fall off the grid. And the male mentoring program, which basically speaks for itself, especially for boys 5th through 8th grades, to just get them involved in the community, different outreach programs, take them on college trips, especially to specific demographics who are never going to be exposed to different things like that. So for that, I will go into the school systems or the classrooms and handpick my own kids. Of course, principals can give me kids all day long, but I know kids, so I would, pick my own kids. And so I'm gonna pick, kids from that, and I'm looking for about 15 to 20 boys. For my organization, specifically funding for the Free Breakfast Weekend program and the Teen Parent Symposium. And if even not the funding, especially for the Teen Parent Symposium, like resources. like people who will be active in job fairs, different, college vendors, Southwest, different places like that, vocational schools, for a lot of my male teen parents, different things like that. And also, again, if you know men, upstanding gentlemen in the community who want to mentor young boys, you can give me that information as well.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you, Cecilia. And yeah, obviously you know how critical that is,
Oh,
and the need in that city. So, Cecilia's, actually spent several years in that arena doing that.
Yeah.
It'd be great for a lot of us to get involved in that at various capacities because it makes a difference. I know DeJuan does a lot of that in the schools, but a lot of you, a lot of you do a lot of that kind of stuff already, which is phenomenal. And the more we can kind of pool those resources together, the bigger our reach and, the more connected we can be. So, yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna get in the light so you can see.
Okay, yeah. Step into the light, brother.
So I hope I'm not on record with all of this. I am not supposed to be here.
We'll get out.
Uninvited and all of that. I got a note sent to me saying that I was going to the Brooks Brothers. And I thought I was going to get a discount on suits.
Gotcha. Got him.
I get into this place and I say, I'm looking at Brooks Brothers and everything. He said, that's me. I'm like, wait a minute, hold it. Something's wrong with this picture. So I got stuck in the middle. He said, just stick around. You'd be too embarrassed to walk out. So I thought I was coming for suits and shoes. I missed a few of you, especially those who were talking about real estate. My name is Stanley Brady. I represent the city of Memphis. Because probably when I start saying things, you'll probably say I need to talk to you. But I bring 33 years in one job at the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. I retired there, met a Mississippi woman, and now I'm married. Went to Lane College, moved back to Tennessee. Why'd you come to Memphis? Because I think Memphis is part of my vision and my dream as a child growing up in Jackson, Tennessee. But I spent my time in employment discrimination, Title VII, and all of that. I am one of two people in the city under the direction of the mayor and under the direction of Joanne Massey, my director. I'm the one that's supposed to figure out how to get minorities, women, and small business, and Caucasian women, figure out how to get them to the table, to get themselves in a position to not only see opportunities, but to get opportunities. There's about $11 billion that's going to be floating around Memphis. The mayor said it, I didn't see it, so you don't have to record me and say he said it. But there's about $11 billion, and a portion of that has been carved out for MWBEs, SBEs, and WBEs. And I would say off the record that the majority of the people in Memphis who are minorities and women-owned business, Caucasian women, don't even know it. And when you don't know it, you don't get it. And when you don't get it, you'll be, walking around talking about your dreams and running into people like Mr. Brooks who are holding these meetings. I'm glad to be here. I didn't know such things were happening here because I think we've done mostly everything other than get on top of the building, get everybody's attention, say this is what we're doing. And I'm here because I'm meeting this young man, and this young man is trying to get certified with the city. And it's my job off the record to help make him, if he's not one, but to help make him a multimillionaire. That is our mission. Again, I'll say, if you divide 30 into 11 billion, you tell me how much that is.
It's a big
and
number.
I will say to you that that portion, according to the law, is already carved out for minorities, Caucasian women, and small business owners. That's just the law. I can't hide this from you. It appears that somebody else is hiding it because a lot of people are not knocking the door down to get to it. So I'm a certification analyst for the city. There's only two of us and 2 contract compliance. And I will say to you, as they say in the Bible, it's like trying to get a camel through the eye of a needle. That's how difficult it is to get minorities and Caucasian women to the table to look at these opportunities. And sitting or standing in this room, it appears that I'm hearing people and seeing people who got all of the right talents, all of the right gifts, and all of the know-how, but you may not be in the right room to deal with what you, because and when I talk to people, I said, what are you in here for? They give me all this sweet stuff, sweet stuff, sweet stuff. And I said, but there's another commercial that comes on television and says at the end of the day, all that matters is what's in your wallet. Because whatever you're dreaming about in America, you're going to have to pay for. Right. So I'm still trying to understand, and that's the reason I'm driving around. And I'm glad he told me he was here as opposed to waiting to the evening, but I'm still trying to figure out what's happening in the city or what's wrong in the city that people don't see it, and it's right there in front of you. And it's like LeBron James who said, you know, in order to be the best in the world, a lot of people don't see you at night. They don't see you in the midnight. You put in your time. That's how you become the king or the best or whatever it is. So I'm trying to figure out where all these people are to say, look, if I can do this, it won't take but a second.
No,
and I apologize.
No.
If somebody walked up to you, I'm just showing you this, and I'll leave you my cards up here. But here's just a piece of paper. And in the past, it has been $300 to $1,000 to get that piece of paper and fill it out with other agencies. Right. With the city of Memphis, it's free. And then what normally takes 30 to 90 days, I do it in 30 minutes, and I'm lost. Even, and how can it hurt you even if it's free? Right. What you got to lose? Nobody's saying you need to pay me to consult with you. No, my job is to take you and say, look, here is all these billions of dollars. Here are all, whatever you do. Now, we don't deal with nonprofits. We're trying to give money to people. You know, we're giving you these opportunities. Nonprofits, we have other people for that. But my job is to say to you, whatever you do, let's figure out how to fit you in there. People who are real estate. It's easy money right now. It's easy picking. I just can't tell you what it is right now. But it's easy picking if you're in real estate right now and you are a minority or a Caucasian woman. And I have to say that because that's what it's set up for. And I have to be just that direct. Sometimes it stings people, but this money is set up for a set of people who were disenfranchised and left out, all that other kind of stuff. White women, African American, Native American, Hispanic American, Asian American, all of that kind of stuff. So when you don't know it, you don't know it. So what I was saying about this is free. It only takes 15 minutes to fill it out. And I only come to you for 30 minutes. And wow, you're in the game. So I appreciate everything you're doing, but I'm telling you about another game that's out there. If you don't know about it, you have no right to get angry when somebody come with their arm and sweep up everything on the table because you were not there. So I'm Stanley Brady. I apologize for coming into your parade without filling out the form. But I'll leave some of this here. How long are you here?
We're going to be here probably another, 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay, I'll try to sit around to the end of all of this, and I'll give you my card. But I encourage all of you all, you have nothing to lose at all. You have so much more to gain, and I already put a number to it. So the mayor is doing everything he can to get it out there to you. And for white men, all you have to do is just register with the city as a supplier through our supplier registration. And those same opportunities that I'm talking about, in that pie, 30%, 35% of that pie is etched out just for minorities so that you could build capacity to catch up with the rich guys. I hope I made sense.
You did. Stanley, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wait, excuse me, stop. Let me show you. No. Let me show you. No, see, I'm reading his mind. He's on an email chain. Believe it or not, he didn't tell you. his wife is talking to me when he said, aha. I'm that guy.
You've seen the email there.
Yeah, I'm the guy he wrote to.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Stanley. We're going to do a few questions. He's going to stick around. Yeah. So just for the sake of time, he's going to stick around and we'll do a few questions.
What I was gonna say was where he is at now is just a culmination of the last 8 to 9 years. I served on the board with the BBA and then worked at MMBC. So really, it was 2 separate offices before, and so ordinance has changed. So the LOSB, because it was an issue of saying, well, you can't leave out certain people. So LOSB, technically, the majority of black businesses are small businesses by federal law, $3 to $5 billion or less, right? So by saying LOSB, it was very good with that ordinance because it does not disallow white males to be in as well. So again, it gives more diversity. So when you go, and he is correct, you no longer have to pay the different entrees into certification as you would with certain ones. But of course, they still are available. The women-owned businesses have a special one as well if they want to do that at WNBC. But that's true. This mayoral administration has definitely made it open for everyone, and he is correct that it's been in existence. So we had 2. They just closed both of them and merged them together into one.
And I would have said all that, but Mr. Brooks looked at me and said,
He didn't want to leave that part out.
We'll edit that part out. But yeah, but no, thank you all. Thank you, gentlemen, for that. Mr. and Mrs. Cooper.
Okay. Well, I'll stand so you guys can see and hear me. My name is Eric Cooper, and this is my lovely wife, Jay Cooper. We basically have our own, we're working with some business developers to build our own e-commerce model. And for us, we call it SOLVE, serving others by living our values and expectations. And pretty much what we would like to do, or we're seeking to do, is to sit down with individuals, basically find out how we can serve them, pretty much serve them, meet their needs, their expectations, because even though it's an e-commerce model, like you just said, we're alluding to earlier, technology can help pretty much anybody in a lot of capacity. So that's what we're looking to do. And we just love to meet you guys and met some of you folks already in the room. And we're excited, and thank you for having us.
Yep, thank you. Yep, thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, we have Miss Brittany Thornton. So I'd like for her just to kind of share who you are and what you do.
Sorry for my tardiness. My name is Marshall. My name is Brittany Thornton.
That's what I said. No, Ms. Marshall's her.
Yeah, we used to work together. Now I'm just want to do kid stuff. So my name is Brittany Thornton. I'm from Orange Mound. Founded a nonprofit called Juice Orange Mound. So I'm interested in learning more about the business side of things. If you go to run a nonprofit, you know that it takes a lot of business skills, and so I recognize there's a lot that I need to develop. We are the homegrown funding source in Orange Mound. We go organize quarterly canvases to collect spare change from residents, and we use that money to fund projects that are used to better the community. So we're doing really exciting, innovative, progressive work in Orange Mound. So if you haven't heard about us, please like us on Facebook, keep up with us, and definitely come out and volunteer with us.
Yeah, so yeah. Thank you, Brittany. That's Juice Orange Mound. I have a soft spot for that. I'm from Orange Mound. I grew up there. So, yeah, Mound. And so definitely always had a soft spot for that and doing some things there. And Brittany's doing a great job. So without any further ado, we want to get to Mr. John White with Intro Business Solutions and kind of talk about a lot of what we've talked about around the room, which is various ways that you can leverage creative kind of financing, alternative financing. That's something that I've, with Brooks Brothers Consulting is a part of. So John and I are now in partnership, and I'm extremely excited about that. And we're working some deals kind of around the country already, and we want to make sure that we're doing that here in Memphis. So without any further ado, John White.
Hey everybody. Hey everybody, my name is John White. Like I said, I'm the owner and principal broker for Intro Business Solutions. We do alternative funding and financing for startups and small businesses. That's our niche in the market. I'll just tell you a little bit about our company. We've been around since 1995 as a family-owned business. We started here off of 3rd Street. We do all type of services. So we do like equipment leasing, financing, sales, leasebacks, factoring. We do working capital, lines of credit. SBA loans, consumer financing, pretty much real estate investment, commercial funding. I know you're looking to get a building. I also do HELOCs. So we pretty much run the whole gambit when it comes to financing and funding. Since we, kind of pushing the time, I'm just gonna go over a couple things. I'm gonna tell you what are lenders actually looking for. It's the 3 C's. Lenders are always going to look at your credit first, personal credit, and it's just to show if you have a history of actually paying things back on time. Also, they're going to look at your business credit. A lot of people don't actually understand what business credit is. And we also have a great program to help you build your business credit here at Intro Business Solutions. Difference between a personal credit, you're looking at around about 400 to about 860. Business credit scores from 0 to 100. A lot of people actually don't know that once you establish yourself a good business credit, you can actually, instead of signing your name to stuff as a personal guarantee, you can actually sign your business name over. So that way that protects you. Some people might not agree with the president on a lot of things, but he's a master at business credit. He has filed bankruptcy over 12 times. He has protected all his money and all his assets. So it's definitely something that you need to learn. You can get a new EIN number in this country every 24 hours.
Wow.
So you can pretty much birth yourself. You can pretty much clone yourself every day in the business. But you got to be able to, you got to know how to do that. We'd be happy to sit down with you, free consultation, and let you know how to actually do that. Next thing lenders are going to be looking for is they're going to be looking at your cash flow. They want to see what type of money you're making. I tell a lot of people, even if you're starting a business today, or you're thinking about you're going to start a business 3 to 6 months down the line, go ahead and open up your business account today. Start putting your work money, wherever you're getting in there, put it in that account right now. That way it'll show, once you really get ready to go out there on the streets and do your business, it'll actually show that you're actually making money for your business now. I know a lot of people, when I tell people, they're like, man, I wish you met you years ago. That's just a quick little tip that you can do if you're planning on opening up something 6 months, 9 months down the line. Open up that business account now. Cash flow is very important. All right. The next thing lender's going to be looking at is your collateral. Collateral is important. Of course, there are unsecured lines of credit programs that we do have here, but those are harder to qualify. You have to have outstanding credit. You have to have almost 700 plus. You have to have outstanding cash flow. At least 20,000, 30,000 coming in a month. So lenders, if you do have some type of collateral, they can be property, they can be equipment from old business, they can be sometimes your plans, your 401ks, things of that sort. It can be invoices, things of that sort. All those are used as collateral to actually help you fund your business. And then I said 3 C's was another important thing what lenders look at. It's your industry, what you're in. Some businesses are high risk to a lender. That could be from basically like any type of service. Like if he was running, say for instance, I just had a client, she has a staffing agency. That's considered a high risk to a lender. But other industries, like I say, like construction, a lender will trip over his foot trying to give you money. If you was in the medical field, they'd give you money right away. Certain industries, like, if I got a paint shop, something like that, it's not a solid business model out there for a lender to pull off of. So it's gonna be more risk. So you're gonna have to be really strong in these 3 areas in order to get past the industry. All right. We do have bad credit programs. I just got a guy with a 500 credit score, just got him about $35,000 worth of equipment. So we can go as low as 500 on a lot of our plans. But of course, what happens is if you have bad credit, your interest rate's gonna be high. I mean, that's just how it is. You're gonna have to pay to play. And so it's very important that you protect your credit score. We also do credit repair here. We can knock off bankruptcies, we can knock off liens, we can knock off collections, inquiries, things of that sort. So I'd be happy to sit down and talk with you and go over your options. Some services that we do offer, we can fund faster than other services. Like equipment leasing and financing, sales leaseback, real estate. I can close on a property on real estate in 7 days, for a real estate investment. Some banks take about 45 days. I can close in 7. It's pretty fast. Some industries are slower. Being in the bank, I guess you know about the SBA loans. It can take forever to get. Working capital, it can take a little time. Lines of credit, it can take a little time. So the stronger you are in these things, the faster your lender gives you the money. Smaller amounts of money, lenders drag their feet on that. I can get a $100,000 deal financed quicker than I can a $5,000 deal. So if you're going to be borrowing money and you're strong in these things, go ahead and shoot your shot. Go ahead and go for it.
That's what I'm saying. Get it all.
Get it all. Because if he like you, that lender likes you, he's going to give you the money. He's going to give it to you. I mean, I was just on a conference call with a client the other day. She's a new startup. She's the company she's doing spin cycling, all the workout stuff, open up a gym, never done in her life. But she had a good credit score. She did what I told her months ago and started putting money in the business account. So she's showing cash flow even though the business basically going to start when the equipment gets there. She didn't have collateral, and her industry was kind of, it's a little risk, but it's not risky. But when he was on the phone with her, you can hear it over the phone that she knew what she was talking about her business. She had a plan for it. Even though the lenders don't require business plans a lot of the times, they want to know that that you have a passion for the business. A lot of my lenders, I work with over 4,000 lenders in private banks. So I have a large network of different lenders that I do work with. And working with all these different lenders, if they know that you have a passion for it, because they're betting on you, these are hedge funds managers, things of that sort. So they're basically betting on you because it's easy. You're better money to them. You're not as risky. Average return on their money is around about 22% lending to a business person, other than going to the stock market. So these guys will invest with you if they believe that you know what you're talking about. If you're a startup, you are we can get funding for startups, but you're risky. You're paying for the mistakes of the other people who failed. That's basically it. I mean, so you have to, if you can sit there and establish yourself, get that bank account going, getting some contracts, showing that I've done this service before. That lessens the risk to the lender. Most of the time, everybody, when I sit down with them, first thing they ask for is, John, I want cash. And if you're a startup or a small business, it's going to be a hard pull. So what we'll do is we'll piece a deal together for you. I'll sit there, once we sit down, figure out that you might need some equipment, you might need a building, and you might need some working capital to get it going. So I would do for the equipment, I'll do equipment leasing finance. For the building, we'll do a real estate deal for you, to get that building for you. And then if you've been working with me, we'll get you that little working capital, maybe $10,000, $15,000 to keep you going. So we a lot of times we do have to piece a deal together to make it work. And like I said, we do free consultation and it's free application. I have ISOs in Atlanta and I have ISOs in Memphis. Like I said, we've been doing this since 1995. Anybody got a question, Mama?
I have a question.
Sure.
You said in the staffing industry that it's very risky. From you doing this, tell me why you would say it's risky.
Because you're depending on an employer to hire you, and you got a lot of competition. And so employers are flicky. If you bring the wrong person in that building, that counts as a contract, you know? So a lender in this sense will say, hey, that's a risk. However, if you do, you know, work with a company and they're paying you 90 days out, I can do this thing called factoring and go ahead and pay you right now. So you can pay your employees, keep your lights on, do everything like that. So you got options to go with. But to be considered unrisky, you need to be in business at least 5 years more. They need to, it's just almost like in the sense of coming from the bank. You have to be bankable. People don't understand that's the reason why the bank turned me down, because certain banks have certain models that you have to fit in. You have a great business, you have revenue coming in, but if you don't fit that perfect model, you won't get that loan. It's just it.
For a small business owner, when you speak of the collateral, can the cash value that may be, like you mentioned 401ks, but if someone has like cash value built up in a life insurance agreement, can that be used as collateral as well? Because it's typically protected by credit. Okay. In addition to that, let's say you're a small business owner and you have employees, and you may have some, you know, like a SEP in place, pension plan or something in place, or you may have some individual plans for your executives. If you're the owner of the policy, can it be used as collateral? If the business owns the policy, can it be used as collateral?
Yeah, I have lenders that's all they do. Right. You know, certain lenders, that's all they will deal with. Okay. You know, every lender, that's why I work with so many of them, because one lender might just do real estate, that's it. Yeah. One lender might just deal with bad credit, so that's his niche in the market. So there's all type of ways to get funded.
Question. Tips for someone like myself, a business owner who start out stepping out on faith. The credit right now, the credit was hurting me because it was everything.
You took risks.
Yeah,
small business.
So it's like, what do you do? Like, it may be too late for myself, but I can like maybe share the information with someone who's on the verge of stepping out on faith, or you know, on the verge of starting their business. What can you do to prevent your, you know, to protect your score? Because when like I went in the red, like I used all my savings. I used my 401k from me being a flight attendant for 7 years, and I had to live off of that because the business wasn't, you know. I mean, I bumped my head a lot of times because I was underbidding, just trying to get the business. You know, I had people that, you know, ate but didn't pay. You know, so a lot of things, you know, took place, and so, you know, that little 3-digit score is like hanging on by a thread, but.
What I would suggest, protecting is kind of hard when you're in a startup, because like you said, you got all these examples. You're gonna fail at certain things. I ain't saying give up, but you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail. But once you get your niche down, that's when you go ahead and protect yourself and go ahead and get some type of credit repair. But there's no real, unless you just have a rich uncle somewhere down the line, you know, paying your bills on time. Lenders understand that. That's why we have bad credit programs, because if the cash flow's there, if you have some type of collateral, if you have strong collateral, some lenders don't care what your credit score look like, don't care what your cash flow look like. You know, it just depends. But if you're at the point where, hey, I'm making money now, I want to get this 4% interest rate. Yeah, I can get this 4% on some interest rates. You know, I want that plan. I want this line of credit, this, another. I suggest you start fixing that credit. It only takes about 3 to 6 months to do.
One thing I heard you say, so like for instance, I was a banker first, but many people just do their passion and go into business, and they don't do what I consider the unsexy things.
Yeah.
So what happens is you go right into it, and then I'm good at IT. I was good at computers, and let me just right in there. I'm good at cooking something right in there. So everything that I've heard you say today really talks about a foundation more than anything. So I think what I've taken away from this is sitting down with somebody like yourself, somebody, a banker or whatever, and just kind of slowly work your way there. Because again, all of us have some type of challenge going in, but we have a passion, whether it be a nonprofit or a for-profit business.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm looking at there is really the foundation. Would you say that's kind of?
Yeah, I would definitely say that's that, because you know, a lot of the times people's like my dad. How we started this business. My dad had a print shop on 3rd Street.
Okay.
He was working for himself. and he could never get funding from a bank. He couldn't figure it out. It made him mad. So this is the telephone book days. So he would sit there and find alternative sources to actually get funding.
Right.
Because he was like, man, why, I can't get a straight answer. Back in the days, you wouldn't get a straight answer.
Right.
You would just say, you got turned down. They knew, sometimes bankers, they tell you, because I have a lot of, my best referrals come from banks. I have a lot of great relationships all throughout the city in Atlanta right now. And they'll tell you, they'll sit down and know that the person will get declined as soon as they sit down with them.
Right.
But they play the game,
Right.
so they won't lose their deposits coming out of their bank.
You're right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just how it is. And that's why I have so many good relationships with banks, because they were like, hey, John, look, that's how I met Ron.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, this dude's about to leave. Can you help him? Because I don't want your deposits, I don't want none of that stuff. I'm just trying to get that funding for him.
Right.
I would say for the foundation, yeah, it's important. They need to start from the beginning. Sit down with a financial planner, sit down with somebody. I know it's like, man, I got this great product, I'm gonna sell it as soon as it hit the streets. And that's not true all the time. Sometimes it takes people looking at your name and your product about 10, 12 times before they actually come by and say, hey, let me go check you out. And by the time they check you out, you're ready to close the doors. Because you don't got that, you don't got that financing and that funding. Any other questions? I think it's free. I am a plethora of information. Yeah, it's actually in
I will say I've learned so much sitting here. Finance and banking and loans is one of those things. It's like I avoid it because I'm just overwhelmed by it. But your presentation, the information just made me feel more relaxed and open to those ideas. So one of the things I didn't mention is that my wife and I are doing the branding as a hustle to get to where we really want to be, and we want to open a healing center.
Okay.
So I'm getting certified as a John Maxwell coach, which is like all about purpose, growth, leadership, all that. And my wife does art therapy, and so we're trying to open a healing center so people can come in and get free from alcohol, drug addiction, all kinds of bondage. And then get the leadership, the growth skills that they need to go and just be more than sober, be more than just someone who's tethered to something that's holding them back. And so we don't know if this would be like a B Corp, or we go and offer these to big corporations that finance it for people who can't afford these things, or if it's just a nonprofit. But we're thinking about a building. And so that feels less overwhelming, hearing what you're saying now and knowing that could be a year out. I've got things I can be doing now to make that process much more seamless. So thank you.
Yeah, start planning now. Start doing it now. That would save the average business person so much time and headaches if they do this stuff right here.
Right.
You'd be surprised how many people you can actually, just by this simple information I'm telling you, that will keep you, that first year or two, keep you from stumbling, keep you from giving up on the business.
Because that's where most people fail. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Seth Godin, but he said most ideas don't fail. People just give up before they can see it through.
Yeah, it's like you almost there, and then all of a sudden you quit right at the finish line when you're about to make that move.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, does the way a business is structured play a part in how they get approved? For C Corp, S Corp, LLC, sole proprietor?
Lenders want you to be at least an LLC or better. They don't like lending to sole proprietors. I just, so just spend the money. I know when I first, I was standing in Atlanta over 20 years while I was doing this. My dad was running here in Memphis. And first day when I came here, I just saw the price for LLC. I was like, man, $300. I can get it for $50 in Atlanta. Just go ahead, get the LLC. With the new tax laws, be a multi-member LLC. Even if you got your mom on there just as 1% of the company, do that. because you're gonna get taxed the extra about 7-8% coming into next year, 2018. It's kicking off right now. So if you're gonna be an LLC, be a multi-member LLC. I mean, get somebody 1% that's can't make no decisions or anything like that, but do it.
You get the vote, but it doesn't matter.
We're going to get the power of attorney here.
Any other questions?
How does the personal credit rating score and business credit score correlate?
Well, the personal credit score, a lot of the times, like if you got good business credit, you know, you can sign off on it. They just pull your personal credit just to see if you got something back in the past.
Yeah.
I had a client recently, you know, he had good business credit, but when these lenders do their due diligence, it's like, hey, back in 2004, you had a tax lien and it's still up there. What's going on with that? These lenders got they can pull credit just like the banks do. And they're, you know, since it's their money, since it's private money, they're gonna really do their due diligence. They're gonna ask around about you. Yeah. So if you got anything type of issues or anything like that, go ahead and I tell people, if you messed up, you got your LLC or something like that, you protected, go ahead and bankruptcy that business. Start over. Because if you don't take care of yourself now at that time period, it's gonna follow with you 10, 20 years down the line. It's gonna always follow you until you take care of that.
How do you establish like the business credit when you are a sole proprietor? Like right now, my business, everything is on me. I have an EIN, but for right now, everything I purchase, like equipment, everything.
See, and that's the thing, if you'd have purchased all that equipment, like with your place that you're at right now, you establish a couple things how you establish business credit. First is that you got your business account, you're an LLC, or better. You got to be LLC. You have a address that's not a residential address. It needs to be a commercial address. Even if you had a Co-works or Regis or something like that, those work. You can't be able to UPS or nothing like that. And then you need to open up trade lines. That's like everybody you're doing business with. You know, you need to open up some net 30s, some net 60s, some net 90s. You know, and once you're doing that, you need to get it done in Bradstreet. You know, you need to get your Experian business credit done. All those things like that help you establish business credit because they report those things. And I tell anybody, I'd rather have a good business credit than $100,000 in my pocket.
Right.
If I got good business credit, I can get anything I want. No questions asked. Just signing off your business name. You ain't signing your name at all. And trust me, when you get good business credit, the banks come out to you. They start recruiting. They like, hey, this guy right here, he's good. Let's go see him. Let's go stop by his office. It happens all the time.
So you're gonna help me with that?
I can definitely help you. Any other questions? I definitely enjoyed myself. Like I said, y'all got my information. Shoot me an email. I'll sit down, free consultation. Pretty much I'm the mobile guy, come to you. You know, I feel like, you know, if you go into an office, you get the same feeling as going to a dentist's office or a doctor's office. You got it like you're intimidated, this, that, and that. But if I'm at your place or I'm at a Starbucks or a place like this, you're more relaxed. Let's talk business. Let's shoot it straight. Because if we do business together, I'm gonna find out anyway.
Right.
You know, so you might as well just tell me right now.
You don't get the washer, get in the rinse.
Because that helps me out. Because I mean, you can sit there and be slowing up the process.
Right.
You know, I could have just went to the right guy in the beginning. We could have got this money right now. But all of a sudden, I done went to this lender. Now he mad at me, which I'm mad because it's hard building up these relationships with these guys. I've traveled all over the country, spent X amount of dollars getting all these names of these guys who got money who want to give it out. You know, so it's just go ahead and tell the truth from the beginning. Just, hey, John, this is what it is. This is what's going on. And I understand. I've seen it all.
That's a key point too when you're working, and Kim could probably attest to this, and Juan, those that have been in banking and things like that, that they're gonna know, right? And so, the best thing is, there's no judgment from anybody. I'm sure Kim could probably tell you, she's seen it, all, so there's no judgment or anything like that. The more truthful that you can be and kind of explain what the situation is, the better that they can help you. What's harder is when, people like us, have to find out the back end, and then you're and you could attest to this in any business, right? If you're finding out, Greg could say, you're finding out about technology issues on the back end, where you didn't tell me that your server only had one meg, right? So it's better to tell them that kind of thing up front. So don't feel, intimidated, as John said, or wherever you are, in your situation. Someone's either been there, they're there, or they're heading there, right? So don't feel, bad or intimidated at all. The more you share, the more you can be helped.
Yeah, I just want to touch, I know we got a couple of nonprofits in the building. There is funding for nonprofits, but you need to establish yourself as, even though you're saying you're a nonprofit, your model should be all about making money. That's right. Yeah. You need to have about, at least quarterly events, some monthly type of event, and some big time thing. Because lenders, private money people would match you dollar for dollar. But the first thing they can ask you is, how much money did you make? How much money you bringing in? So if you're a nonprofit, still, I know it's a good thing that you're doing, but still run it like a business.
Yeah.
That's the best advice I can give any nonprofit, is to run it like a business. Make money.
And think of, nonprofit, all that, it's more of an accounting function, right? And so nonprofit is not no money, it's not no profit, right? And it's hard to get sometimes nonprofits to think that way. It's not no profit, it's just that you're not just taking it and putting it in a board of directors' pocket, right? So it's all about what you're doing with the money. So, basically by law, as a nonprofit, you're investing that back into the organization. So that's really all that you need. So John's exactly right. So, from a business model mentality standpoint, you may have much more fiduciary, mission and things like that, which is great. But, John's exactly right. Don't think of it as just, no money. You still have to run it as a business, because it's still a business. It's just a form of business entity. So think of it that way. You still have to generate, and don't get caught up so much in the law of just chasing grants. A lot of times I find in this city, when I talk to a lot of people, everybody's got the, hopefully I'll get the grant, and hopefully, and everything's riding on that grant, right? And you're hoping that the city, and Stanley does a great job, and they're doing a lot to connect, and they're hoping the state and federal. And so everything they do is riding on the contingency of getting some grant or some money from someplace. And you could do the same things like you would for a for-profit business, like John said. Host events, wine tastings, things like that. Some of the things that Brittany does, that Lucia does. Those are all good ways to connect and be able to drive, funds to yourself. And be intentional is the other thing. Be intentional about what you're looking for. Don't be shy. Don't be, well, they might, no, I want to make some money. I hope you make some money, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. When I've traveled, I guarantee if you go to Washington, D.C., for those that have been up there, you go sit, in the meeting, they're not going to do business with you unless they know that you want to make some money, right? So, because they're going to feel you're not going to keep the interest if you're just there to fiduciary and just, let me help everybody, and you can still do that, right? You can still do that. I'm not suggesting that that's wrong. And it's not just all about money, so don't take that message away either. But.
Yeah, because it's like nonprofits right now, y'all. Eventually, in a couple of years, y'all gonna be the really only nonprofits left. Like, it barely passed that churches was gonna keep their nonprofit status this year. So it's coming. So in the long runs, you guys want to be the only ones that maybe take advantage of their nonprofit status. So I say if you're doing it, do it big, because once you get established and once they cut the churches, that money's coming to you guys, times 100.
Yeah. And think how many churches there are here in Memphis, right? When that gets cut off. So that spigot is getting cut off.
It's getting cut off. Cause it barely passed like a couple of votes. And, you know, next year, a couple years from now, there's no telling what that's gonna be.
Any other questions or anything? We're coming up on time. We want to be respectful again of time. It's 12:56. I know everybody made a commitment to 1 o'clock, so. And feel free, of course, this is a free flowing place, so stay here. They're open till 7, so you can stay here and chat and talk as much as you want. But, again, I wanted to, thank you, John. Thank you for that. And thank you all again for coming. We're going to do this again. We'll probably see one for next month. We'd love to have you again, share it with other people. If you have anything you'd like to recommend, again, to make it better. So this isn't just about me and John standing up here. It's an opportunity for everybody to get a chance to present and things like that. So I'm just here hosting. There's no hierarchy here, at all. We're all trying to get better and that kind of thing. So,
I have a question.
please.
You indicated that you do go out, you're mobile, so do you do events as well?
Yeah, I actually have an event sponsored by Epicenter next week on Tuesday.
Okay.
And I did an event yesterday at Tom's Pizza.
Yeah.
So we have this thing called the Black Umbrella. What happens with the Black Umbrella? Different people who want to get a business or start, don't know step 1, step 2, step 3. Would you be that person that they can talk to? They help you give them a
I
guide?
work with Operation Hope right now, so
Okay.
I'm run to tell you I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And Eric in the back tell you he sees me everywhere, so
Yeah.
I don't sleep. So.
We'll be calm.
Yeah. Again, I want everybody to leave here, as you make these connections, follow up, with each other. So put it on the calendar, shoot an email. Hey, great meeting you at the hub or the Agents of XChange, and that's how you keep it going. So the only value that you get is from your effort. So if you just walk out here with just a stack of cards and you stick them in your glove box and you just wait for the next thing, you'll never get the growth. And you'll just be attending these, eating free lunches, but you never really grow. So thank you all again.
What we do here is go back.